Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be counterintuitive dating magic. Well, I've got two emails that I'm going to go through with you. They're both pretty short. The second one actually is just a texting exchange. And what I liked about the texting exchange and why I wanted to go through it with you is you're going to see in real time a guy who's got an ex who's contacted him recently, and she's obviously, you'll see, she's got a whole truckload of problems, a little bit of a Fruit Loop. But that's beside the point. What I really liked about was how he handled himself in the texting exchange. You can tell this guy knows seven principles to get an ex back, the article that I did on how to get an ex back. And he also seems to know the fundamentals in the book really well. And my goal with these videos is to help you fine-tune and tweak what I teach in my book, How to Be a 3% Man. And if you haven't started reading it yet, you can go to the website and sign up for the newsletter, and then you can read it for free. And then you can either get a Kindle or an iBook version. You can get the iTunes audio version. And if you're really industrious, you can get a free trial to audible.com through Amazon and get my audiobook for free. Great deal. So with that said, I got a quote that I wrote, and then we're going to go through the first email, which is a really good success story. The guy's done a lot of dating. He's having a lot of success with it. And he just brings up some of the things that were like paradigm shifting for him. In other words, the kind of things that he read and applied, and they were totally counterintuitive and like the complete opposite of what he's always done. And obviously he's got amazing results because he's following the fundamentals, because he's reading the book 10 to 15 times. Repetition is the mother of skill. Anything you practice, you will become great at over time. And that's what I like here. These guys are obviously learning the fundamentals, they're doing well. They're not getting, the second one's not getting the results he wants because the girl's kind of crazy, but he's showing up and he's doing the right thing. And when you apply what my book teaches, the crazy lunatic women they'll just delete themselves from your life, and you'll see why in a minute. So the quote says, much like kids test their parents to see what they can get away with and push the boundaries, adults do this with each other in all aspects of life and human interactions. Salespeople test your willingness to part with your money and accept terms that are more favorable to them. Lovers and potential lovers test each other to see what the other person is made of. Setting healthy boundaries is part of any good personal and professional relationship. Being willing to enforce those boundaries by walking away and never looking back, if you are not treated the way you want and deserve, is sometimes necessary to communicate that you mean what you say and are not bluffing. People will love and respect you more and give you what you want if you mean what you say. If you allow others to walk all over you and treat you like a doormat, they will eventually see you as being worthless and unworthy of respect. You can look at the relationship between Barack Obama and Vladimir Putin and just look at how they talked about each other, and you can look at their body language if you ever saw an interview with the two of them sitting next to each other. They were disgusted with one another. Pretty interesting. Body language tells you a lot. You don't get what you deserve in life, only what you negotiate. Negotiating from a position of strength is always necessary to ensure that you get what you want in life and are treated how you want to be treated. Just like our current president, I love how he's handling his negotiations. I'm sure there'll be plenty of, you fucker in the comments, but why not trigger a few people? What I've learned is about 80% of my audience kind of has the same worldview that I do, and there's the other 20% that tend to be more liberal, and they're still kind of waking up. They haven't uncooked completely, if you will. Hey Coach, hope all is well in your world, and I wanted to give you a shout out and endorsement of your teachings and techniques. I've read the book 15 times now, and I made it a point to continue reading it at least once a month. I'm a fast reader, so your book with my underlines and markings takes me roughly 5 hours total to read. That's fucking awesome, dude. This is somebody who's a serious, committed student, and they want to fucking kick ass. These are the guys that have great success stories. That's why this is a short, great success story of how well he's doing. He recognized, hey, I got a problem. I'm not getting the results that I want. Let me go find a solution. And then he finds me on YouTube or my website Starts watching some videos and goes, I did those things. Starts connecting the dots in his mind. Says, this fucking shaved-headed bastard really does know what he's talking about. He says, because repetition is the mother of all skill. He's definitely been paying attention. Your teachings are gold. I field tested them countless times, and they work every single time. Well, at the end of the day, what I teach is not just about dating and relationships. It's really about life and our interactions with other people. Hence the title of my website, understandingrelationships.com. Because what is life? Life is our relationships with other people. And I teach you how to get what you want. And if the stuff that I teach works, especially from a spiritual perspective, for those of you that get irritated and fucking pissed off, and when every time I might bring up something political, I only talk about things that I know and that I see, when I see patterns and that work. But if you're not open to it, it's like, it doesn't really matter. I might as well be talking to a lampshade. But for the guys that are and the girls that are open to it, the results speak for themselves. I mean, look at the reviews I get. Look at I got 4.7 out of 5 stars on Amazon for my book. I got like 4.9 in the iBook store. I've got, I think it's 4.8 out of 5 stars on my audible.com review. There's over almost close to 2,500 reviews now. I mean, so he says, I field tested them countless times and they work every single time. When you follow the fundamentals, obviously. When are you free to get together again for drinks, next week, etc.? Should be patented and you should charge people $1 every time they use it. It's the best line for in-person, text, phone, online dating to get a woman out. When are you free to get together? Because it allows her to tell you when her schedule's open and then you make a date. It's pretty fucking simple. And so, by the way, yeah, I think it's a great idea. $1 so everybody that follows me, send me $1 every time you used it. I think it's a great donation idea. And if you are so inclined to donate, you can go to my website, and on the toolbar at the bottom of the screen, there's a button that says donate. Donate whatever you feel is equal to the value, or at least tell your friends and family. And for those of you that are already doing that, I appreciate the referrals and I appreciate the donations. You guys are fucking awesome. Letting the girl do 80% of the talking is the best advice ever for any guy looking to get with multiple women fast. Well, how to win friends and influence people. If you think about it, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth because we should listen twice as much as we speak. When you listen to another human being, when you're sincerely interested in them, when you want to sell somebody or convince them or talk them into liking you, asking questions and being sincerely interested in who they are is the key to do that. That's why it's so effective, especially on a date with a woman, because you make her feel like you really care about who she is as a human being and you're interested in her, besides just motorboating those beautiful boobies and tapping that great fucking stellar perky ass of hers and sliding up and down those beautiful legs. That's what most guys are focused on, the visual thing, getting in their pants. They're trying to prove themselves, talk about how great they are and their accomplishments. Women can see right fucking through that. They see it coming a mile away. But when you're really into who they are, because, I mean, let's face it, sex is a small part of any relationship. If you don't like hanging out with the person and conversing with them, you're wasting your fucking time. Might as well get a fucking hooker. It's all about business then. It's the best advice ever for any guy looking to get with multiple women fast. Shut the fuck up and let her tell you all about her day in life, and while you nod and say, wow, oh really? Tell me more. Cool. This guy's fucking paying attention. And lastly, let her come to you. Do nothing is the most counterintuitive, yet tested and proven 100% to work advice for any dating situation. As long as she's normal and not a fucking Fruit Loop. If you're applying this stuff and the chick is a Fruit Loop and you're getting undesirable results and she's losing her shit, well, that's the whole point. It brings out the worst and the worst right away so you can delete them the fuck out of your life forever. On the other hand, not following your advice is 100% guaranteed rejection. Period. Topic closed. There is no cherry picking your material. You either follow it 100% or you will fail. Well, like I always like to say, I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. I only talk about things that I know and I've studied and I've learned about. I'm not sitting here telling you how to build a fucking rocket ship to go to the moon because I don't know that stuff. But when I talk about human behavior and I talk about patterns in the world, relationships with other people, whether it's leaders, CEOs of companies, or political leaders, I look at body language, I listen to things they say. And if you're open-minded, you'll say, you know what? He was right about that. You must be able to know the material so well that if you are awakened at midnight by a fucking nuclear attack and asked by Melania Trump, are you single? You will casually glance at the fireball outside your window and reply, I always have room for one more. Best wishes, Bob. Okay, so let's go through this. Thanks for your great success story, Bob. And I appreciate the fact you've been a diligent student and you're fucking crushing it. That's why you're getting great results and life is easy and effortless for you. So this texting exchange here, the guy wanted to send it in, and I just thought it was brilliant. So this is from an ex-girlfriend of his, and she started reaching out again. And obviously you'll see as we get into this text exchange that she's a little fucked up. But the beauty of it is because he applies the principles, he's negotiating from a position of strength to get what he wants. He's not going to compromise, and he's not going to settle. And he's not taking ownership of her problems either. And you'll see that it just, he doesn't end up going out with her, but really that's the desired effect you want, because these people will self-disqualify themselves from being in your life. So out of the blue, she texts him, says, I'm here if you ever need someone to talk to. Remember, we're not going to say, hey, what are you doing? I want to see you and I miss you. They're going to be like, hey, I'm here for you. Throwing the friendship vibe at him. And then he says, thank you for the offer. Would you like to come over Sunday evening? Bring a couple of beers, maybe have some food. And she says, what are the circumstances? And she also says, I also got help, by the way. Although it was too late because I need to get stitches tomorrow, but they gave me antidepressants. I would quite happily have a few beers with you and food to make sure you are all right. In other words, she's just calling to make sure he's okay after the breakup. So what it really sounds like is she's just needling him a little. Does he still care? Does he still want to see me? There's probably some other dude in her life. And he says, that's good that you're getting help in a romantic sense, not a platonic one. So in other words, he's like, yeah, I'm glad you're getting help. She needs stitches. I don't know. Maybe she's self-harmed or something. Like, who knows? And so he's saying, because she's like, under what circumstance? He says, in a romantic sense, not a platonic one. Because she brought up, hey, what circumstance? He's like, romantic, not romance, not platonic. As I said before, I'm not interested in being just friends. And you can see she's putting the friendship vibe out there, trying to see if she can get him to submit to what she wants, which is being stuck in friend zone. He's like, And although I appreciate you wanting to make sure I'm all right, which I am, you don't need to make sure of that. And then she goes on, I'm always going to make sure you are all right, even if you don't want me to. I can always come round for beers and see how it goes. I'm not going to lie, but I am open to dating other people if the option arises. Not that I am dating anyone, but I just thought I would make that clear. In other words, she's like, I got other dudes. I got a carousel going on. And he says, yeah, beers, food, hang out, and see how it goes. I'm open to dating other people too, but as long as you understand we'll be seeing each other in a romantic sense, then come over on Sunday at 7 p.m. Then she says, I will if I'm alive. I am an alcoholic after all, so I will see what I can do. So in other words, you roughed up her feathers. Now she's like, I'm upset. Because she wants to stick you in friend zone and get you to agree to be her backup plan. You're like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Romance only. Or no thanks. And that obviously pisses her off because she's used to probably jerking this guy around and getting what she wants. Plus she's an alcoholic, so it's really not, I mean, she's got a whole truckload of problems she needs to deal with first. The idea is you don't want somebody to complete you. You want to find a happy, whole, complete person who's got their shit together so you can share their completeness. Because otherwise you end up being their therapist, their nurse. That's not fun. Let her family, let her close friends, whoever the doctors are that are helping her, let them work with her. And someday when she gets her shit together, maybe she'll be somebody good to date. But right now... So he continues on. If you can't make definite plans, then let's leave it. Get in touch when you know you definitely want to see me and you know you can make definite plans. And if I'm still single, we'll see if we can sort something. It's fucking great. She says, I can't make definite plans because I'm an alcoholic and I'm being treated for it. It's not an excuse. I honestly don't know when I will be sober enough to remember or stick to plans. So she's making excuses for her flakiness. Trying to make him feel guilty and bad. He says, I understand, but I'm not going to leave my evenings open for a maybe. Remember, she said, we'll see. When a woman says maybe or we'll see, it's like, it means nope. I understand, but I'm not going to leave my evenings open for a maybe when I have other people that want to spend time with me. I'm sorry. Let's just leave it. I hope you get well soon. Great response, dude. You've been paying attention. And she says, well, that's your choice. I'm sorry I can't commit to anything due to my alcoholism. No, she's not. She ain't sorry about shit. She's just fucking pissed off that you didn't go along with her agenda, which is being stuck in friend zone and blue balls. I will get it under wraps at some point if I don't get put in rehabilitation. Run like hell, dude. And he says, I love this last response because it's truthful. He's being truthful and he's being brutally honest. He's not being a dick about it. He's just... Because remember, if you're a high status person and you got a lot to offer somebody, you're not going to take shit from nobody. Kind of like Donald Trump. Ah, Corey did it. He did it again. I'm gonna fucking unsubscribe. Fuck him. Fucking shave-headed bastard. I can't believe him. Then he says, then you are in no state to be dating at all, me or anyone else. It's probably best that you wait until you're better before you start dating anyone. I've got to go. Have a good night. Dude, I am so fucking proud of you. That is such a fucking great, awesome response. You handled yourself well because you learned the fundamentals. You had a Fruit Loop who's got an alcohol problem trying to come into your life and trying to jerk you around and come over and give you blue balls because she likes the attention. And you're like, no, my time's valuable. I'd love to see you, but I'm not going to hang out and be your therapist or your pal or your buddy. We're lovers or we're nothing. Ah! And that fucking drove her up a wall. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. Like the great writer Michael Yon has written. For those of you that, if you're into war reporting, Michael Yon spent more time embedded with coalition troops in Iraq and Afghanistan than any other war reporter. He's a brilliant guy, and he's somebody that I always listen to when he's got opinion. He's got the ear of the top generals, secretaries of defense. He's very well connected to people that are running the show. And if you're interested in those things, I highly recommend that you Google his name, Michael Yon. That's Y-O-N. And follow him on Facebook and read his website. I think it's called michaelyononline.com, if I remember right. But he's got a couple great books on Amazon. The Michael Yon Story. He's a retired Green Beret. Really great book, if you're so inclined. And if you'd like to get my help personally, you can go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever coaching option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon. Make America great again!